Greeting by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Whether or no there is any poetry, or what is generally termed as such, in these verses, I leave to those who may read them. All I know is that the thoughts which they contain came from me from time to time, and have been penned according to my ability. Whether or no they contain a thought that may be considered as helpful or cheering to another is not for me to decide, and it is with some reluctance that I now offer them for publication. In doing so, my purpose is to add my one note to the great invisible song of life, and thereby, if such be possible, to add to its greater harmony. To those nearest and dearest to me, to my dearest friends, and to those who may be interested in life's ebb and flow, these selections are affectionately inscribed by the author. One little look, one little smile, may sweeten life for many a while. Subtract the little loving things from life, and what is ours? Just long hot summer days without refreshing showers. Blow out the little lamps that light the way, freeze up the little streams that gaily play. Blot out from frozen days the sun, the added figures give the sun. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Dear Mr. Critic by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. I know you're a hard fellow to please, and have upset many a plan, so I'm going to ask you some questions. So won't you reply if you can? Now why do you scramble our verses that we write with poetical pen? Why do you beat them and stab them and maltreat them? Do you think you could put them together again? There's many a poet been spoiled in the making by your untimely aid and unmerciful raking. You twist up the words and harp on the letter. Do you really think you could do any better? 'Tis the same with the painter of pictures, you know. It has to compare with a Turner, just so. And if it does not, it may lie there and rot, for the critic has smiled and said no. Now the poet and the painter are both in their graves, for they could not make things go. So they starved in their pride and had to abide because Mr. Critic said no. Yes, the poet and the painter are now in their graves and slumbering peacefully there, while the hunter is rushing from palace and hall for the work of this painter to hang on his wall. And the poet's poor work which refused him bread is coming to life, though the poet is dead. And now I would like to ask who's to blame that these artists, while living, were knocked out of the game. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Crowding by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Kathleen. To and fro, in this wonderful world we go. Everything was made for us. If 'twere more we'd count it plus. But we step upon the toe of our neighbor as we go. Head thrust forward, elbows out, never caring whom we rout. And we ever plunge and rush onward in the maddening crush, seldom thinking to delay to help another on the way. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Understanding by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Kathleen. When the morning mists of life from our vision roll away, then we view life's panorama in the clearer light of day. May no dimming shadows linger to obscure the broadening way. May the brightness of the noontide open wide the door of day, when for us the shadows lengthen, and the milestones fewer grow, and the evening overtakes us in the twilight's softening glow. May there steal within and o'er us when the flame is burning low, joy and peace and understanding that we may have sought to know. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Christmas Eve by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Kathleen. Gently falls the snow pure and white, soft and light, covering all the town, all sere and brown, with heaps of down, a fairy forest making, falling so silently on bush and tree, every branch and twig and bough wears a coat of purest snow, piling high on post and litter, crowning all with pomp and glitter. O beauteous sight of calm delight! Now the evening's dimming light falls upon the world in white. White and gray the shadows lay, evening merging into night. White and shadowy forms unite. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Little Blue Moth by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Kathleen. Butterfly flitted through the balmy air, when he chanced to spy a lady fair sitting near by with folded wing, smiling in the balmy air of spring. In his eye went a look, in his heart went a pang, and he cleared his throat and lovingly sang, "O Miss Butterfly, fly with me in the balmy air happy and free. Your home shall be a lily fair and you shall feed on the honey there." His lady love, dressed in her suit of blue, looked shy and said, "I will fly with you. I've always longed to fly away and sit in a lily the livelong day." Then he rose in the air, to follow she tried, but the flight was too high for the little blue birds. So she fluttered down in calm relief, and returned to her seat on the cabbage leaf. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My Wish by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Maria de Fátima da Silva. My wish, to live today as if 1,000 years were mine, cheerful alway, whether it rain or shine. Each passing day to mark with the good deed done, to strive alway to finish well the work begun. That each fair day be filled with fairer thought, and still hold sway, until thereby the pattern wrought. Upon life's loom shall all life's sweetness borrow, and shed its bloom and radiance on a bright tomorrow. To strive today that I may live aright, nor fear the way if I should die tonight. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Old Oak Tree by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Kaylee Monahan. January 10th, 2019. As I wandered along in a mild reverie, my eye caught the form of a stately oak tree. Its branches so sturdy and strong as they grew, its green, glossy leaves richly patterned in view. In its cool shade I rested. I craved its protection from the sun's beating rays, nor fearing detection, its tireless arms reaching over above me, like a mother e'er watchful to hover and love me. And I thought, as I gazed at the rich foliage above me, of its beauty and strength, with such power to move me. I thought of the days of the long, long ago, as they passed through my mind like a river's soft flow. Again I am back on the broad rolling lea, making crowns from the leaves of the old oak tree. And again from the acorns which fell to the ground, we make cups of tea and pass them around. And we sip the rich nectar in image content, for a child loves the pleasures which nature has sent. And I think of the stream by the side of the lea, where we floated its leaves on a turbulent sea. Now leaping, now dancing, now dashing along, I still hear the swish of the brook's rippling song. Like the leaves of the oak on the stream by the lea, our friends float away from you and from me, and only sweet memories remain of the past. But these we shall cherish and hold to the last. I awake from my dream, and over my head the quivering branches are still overspread. The sun has gone down in the far western sky, and the shadows have waved me a silent goodbye. And I think of all the places to dream and to be is under the boughs of a spreading oak tree. Now the quiet of evening has settled around, and I hear the soft echoes of faraway sounds, and the insect's low hum from bush and from tree as it floats to my senses from over the lea. The frogs in the pond far over the way are merrily trilling a shrill roundelay. The deepening shadows now gather around, growing dimmer and dimmer, the faraway sounds. The birds here and there are fluttering to rest. The shadows have blotted the light from the west. With diamonds the dew has besprinkled the lea, and each quivering leaf of the old oak tree. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Garden by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Josh Kibbe. On January 4th, 2019 in Burien, Washington. There's a garden wondrous fair. Flowers I know are blooming there. Ragged robins, hollyhocks, sweet peas and 4 o'clocks. Marigold and hardy phlox, roses, pinks, forget-me-nots. Morning glories there entwine in this garden spot of mine. Color blending there is seen. Blue and yellow, red and green, pink and white and purple too, sparkling with the morning dew. Hummingbird and butterfly, hovering o'er with watchful eye. Laden bees go buzzing by. Honeydew the flowers supply. Subtle fragrance fills the air, and I love to linger there, for a living sacred shrine in this garden spot of mine. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
What's in the Name by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Maria de Fátima da Silva. What's in the name? This world's so constituted that you can't get in the game, and you'll soon be executed unless you have a name. If you paint a pretty picture fit for the Hall of Fame, they smile, not accepted, because you have no name. Or if you write a poem, 'tis always just the same. You cannot get it printed unless you have a name. You can't even have an idea accepted by the mass, because they do not know you as belonging to a class. The picture must be dim and old, signed with an ancient name. The poem's wild and flighty, and of primeval fame. I have seen some ancient pictures, I have read some ancient rhymes, and it is my honest verdict that they are behind the times. I suppose I am not cultured, and so I am to blame, because I can't appreciate or deify a name. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Bountiful Guest by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Oh, the rain, the welcome rain! Like a voice it comes to my window pane, telling of bursting buds and flowers, making the brambles fairy bowers, each blade of grass to sparkle and gleam like diamonds adorning some fairy queen. Oh, welcome the rain! Again we hear the song of the brook, inviting the birds to take a look into its mirror-like waters and trim each delicate feather from soil and grime. It ripples, then glides, then dances along, but leaves behind its gay little song. Oh, welcome the rain! Although for a time it may darken the sun, it tells of pleasures yet to come, of luscious fruit and ripening grain it brings within my window pane. From our hardening toil it brings us rest. Oh, do not despise such a bountiful guest. Oh, welcome the rain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Memories by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Maria de Fátima da Silva. Memories. Through my open window came, from the church across the way, voices singing sweet and clear, a song unheard for many a day. Loud and clear the old song told of a land far, far away, where saints in glory stand, bright, bright as day. To my listening ear there came this old song I used to know, words and melody the same that I sang long years ago. In my heart old memories stirred by the sweet old melody, kept by a father's hand, love cannot die. And there stole through all my senses something from the far away, subtle, undefined, and holy, like the rosy dawn of day. Like a shining spark in night time came the words from over there, and bright above the sun we shall reign forever there. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Love Bells by Francis Cook Steen, read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. Tinkle, tinkle, hear the love bells ringing, they sweetly chime to the rhyme that forever in my heart is singing. When I hear thy tinkling music ringing, soft and low, then I know they to me my lover's thoughts are bringing. Merry chimes forever keep thy music ringing, for in thy motion my love's devotion shall ever, ever keep my heart a-singing. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Tomoka by Francis Cook Steen, read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. Sailing through a fairyland, beauteous sights on every hand, and our light craft skims along like the rhythm of a song. Cool and dark the waters lie underneath a sunny sky, flickering forms beneath the deep silently their watches keep. Now and then an osprey nigh mounts toward the summer sky, in the topmost branch of tree, resting high where all may see. Mossy nest so soft and warm, solitary free from harm, built away up next the sky, wherein secure the eaglets lie. Onward still we wind and wind, 'mong the palms and oaks and vines, closely scanning either shore for surprises there in store. Patiently the saurian beast, sluggish from his daily feast, quiet resting on the bank, 'mong the grasses tall and rank. Vultures pausing by the stream, tame as barnyard fowls they seem, for no sportsman ever dares shoot the dark-winged scavengers. So on through the tortuous stream, turning, winding, black and green, blending in a picture rare, weird, mysterious, wondrous, fair. O Tomoka, nature's child, coursing through the jungle wild, reminder of the passing brave who rode upon thy tireless wave. Thou shalt still flow on and on when admiring hosts are gone, still thy beckoning mystic charm call to jungle wild and tarn. Onward in thy winding way, never tiring night or day, generous ever with thy store, giving, giving evermore. Yielding with a bounteous hand, food for beast and food for man. Goodbye, and may thy store increase, and may thy glory never cease. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Warning by Francis Cook Steen, read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. When we see the ice a-melting on the old frog pond, when we listen in the morning for the robin's cheery song, when the brook has burst its fetters of frost and ice and snow, and goes rippling o'er the pebbles that are shining down below, when the frost in the meadow has yielded to the sun, and the violets are peeping forth one by one, when the sap from the maple is trickling from the spile, and we run to get a straw from the old straw pile, when the grass on the hillside shows a brighter tint of green, and the trees by the brooklet with swelling buds are seen, When the gray sleeping orchard awakes at nature's call, and the deeper shadows gather where now they lightly fall, now the robin flings his challenge at the fleeing winter king, and we know we're at the portal of the modest maiden Spring. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Dream of the Little Brown Bird by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. Just a brown bird in a common old nest, with a bunch of warm babies under my breast. All day long I must carry them food. You never did see such a hungry brood. It is grub, grub, grub from morning till night. Their stomachs to fill, 'tis a mighty hard fight. For they're growing hungrier every day, and never a thank you I get for my pay. When I fly to the nest with a big fat worm, you just ought to see them wriggle and squirm, and open their mouths till you'd think they would split. It rattles my brain till I lose my wit. And greedy Tom Brown gets the best of the game. The way that bird acts is a sin and a shame. By the time the dark comes, I'm tired to death. I haven't had time to draw a long breath. I wish I could live in a gilded cage, and to wait upon me a liveried page, with gilded perches and swing to match, and never an egg to hover and hatch, and never more to search for worms for a hungry brood that wiggles and squirms. I would like to have a coat of red, and a merry widow to cover my head, and slippers white for my sprawling feet, and plenty of everything nice to eat. And I'd sit all day in my golden swing, and just do nothing but swing and swing. I'd have my voice like the yellow canary, and I'd sing and never grow weary. And when at night I would tuck my head up under my wing and go to bed, and never be wakened out of my rest by a bunch of warm babies under my breast, who wriggle around in the night and peep, but I'd sit in my swing and sleep and sleep. Then the little brown bird, too weary to weep, just nodded her head and went to sleep. But now a bright sunbeam has opened her eye, and she stretches her wings all ready to fly from the common old nest to search for food, as in the days past for her hungry brood. When lo, her wings caught in the wire of gold, and as she gazed on the splendor untold, she knew the thing she had wished had come true, for there was the page all dressed in blue, the gilded perch and the golden swing, which she mounted, then opened her mouth to sing. In its native isle no yellow canary e'er gladdened the morn with a song so merry as our little brown bird in her coat of red, with a merry widow upon her head. And she sang and sang till her throat was sore, and she swung and swung for evermore. Of the sweet rich food she ate her fill, till she dizzy grew and became quite ill. Her toes were pinched in the slippers white, and she longed to spread her wings in flight. But the door of her splendid cage was fast, and she mused on the freedom forever past. She looked into the mirror that hung on the wall, and the sight that she saw did not please her at all. So she pulled off the cumbrous coat of red, and the merry widow from off her head. The slippers flew from her sprawling feet, and the joy in her heart was quite complete, when stripped of her pride she shot through the wire, and flew, mounting higher and higher, till she reached the old nest in the top of the tree, where she knew were waiting brown birdies 3. Just then she awoke with a blink of her eye, and saw the sun mounting into the sky, and she flew out and in the livelong day, bringing food for the wee helpless birdies that lay in a common old nest in the top of a tree, as fat as little brown birdies can be. And at night when she cuddled down into the nest, with that bunch of warm babies under her breast, a happier bird you never did see than the little brown bird with her babies 3. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Stray by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. Only a dog in the city street, feared or shunned by all whom I meet. Just a starved waif hunting a bone, just a lone dog without a home. Roaming the city from end to end, I'm just a stray dog without a friend, pitied by none and no one to love, sheltered by only the blue sky above. Only a brindle old cur, they say, good for naught but to block up the way. So I skulk around for a place to hide from the onward press of the human tide. As I scan in fear each human face, no gleam of pity or love can I trace. For I'm just a starved dog hunting a bone, just a lone cur without a home. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My Photograph Album by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Maria de Fátima da Silva. My Photograph Album. A picture of my friend. Is this my friend? I touch it, 'tis but cold. No answering warmth comes back to tell me I am overbold. See, the cheek so pale, no blush mounts to its surface. The lips are bloodless, and tremble not at my approach. The eye turns not from its fixed gaze to me, who longs with such intensity. I cannot take thee in my arms, and kiss thy cheek, nor bring a smile to those cold lips, nor to the eye forever fixed. Take it hence, 'tis but a trick to woo my disappointment. But stay, I'll look again upon the features fair. Mayhap beneath the beauteous mask there lie some traces of my friend. I'll undertake the task. Beneath the printed lace I see within thy breast a heart beats warm. The red blood flows and mounts to lip and cheek, and mounting higher bring a sparkle to the eye, a love light dear to me. All this I see, this is my friend. A picture of my baby. Is this my baby? No, for if it were, 'twould cling about my neck, and press his cheek to mine, and laugh and coo as babies do. Ah, baby mine, baby mine. If this were he, he'd jump and crow the livelong day, a playing horse with me. Upon my lap he'd take his nap. Ah, baby mine, I long for thee. If this were he, I'd tuck him in his little crib at night and kiss his rosy cheek, and sing, lullaby, close thine eye. Ah, baby mine, why do I weep? If this were he, I would not tire, but love him more, if that could be. It breaks my heart with thee to part. Ah, baby mine, come back to me. The picture of my mother. Ah, here's another. 'Tis the picture of my mother. When I look upon her face, many passing years I trace. Though the artist's done his part with his tools of modern art, smoothing here and touching there, softening down with patient care, still with loving eye I trace signs of care upon her face. Many signs of sorrow too, many also brave and true. And I look beyond the years that's been watered by her tears, and behold her youthful grace. Love and hope shines in her face. How she loved me, clothed me, fed me. Through the ills of life she led me, satisfied my every need, while her own she did not heed, gently chiding, firm but mild, with her wayward, thoughtless child. Of life's ills she's borne her share, still I see love shining there. Shining there for you and me. Mother love can't die, you see. Mother love is God's own love, shining down from up above. As it falls upon her face, of withering time I see no trace. Gloried are the marks of time by a crown of love sublime. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Old Friend by Francis Cook Steen. redforlibrivox.org by Laurie Wilson. To E.M.H. Just looking backward o'er the time since we first met, to those old times I never shall forget, and we've been true the long way through. For us love's shining star has never set. To us the world was open wide, our days were filled with youthful pride, our spirits glowed and overflowed into the future's brimming tide. Would we recall and live them o'er again, those wonder days of yore? The glad days, the sad days, that now are gone forevermore? Ah, no! For memory, an artist rare, has caught the best and held it there, the shining rays of bygone days, and painted us a picture fair. But we have known since that glad day, life has its work as well as play, both come and go. But this we know, that friendship true shall last alway. Your constancy has brightened many an hour, and cast its radiance from afar, brought many a smile, made life worth while, and strewed the way with many a flower. Old friend, the lengthening years have set their passing marks upon us, yet we ponder o'er the days of yore, and know we never shall forget. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Bluette by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Elaine Conway, England. Dear little bird, with coat of blue, without a mother to hide or hover, little lost bird, I will mother you. I will search for the food you like the best, to supply the need of your growing greed, and build you a downy nest. Ah, little Bluette, with eye gleaming bright, ah, fluttering waif, unheedingly safe, in your snug little bed I must leave you. Good night. Just a dead bird I find in the nest, closed the bright eye, all motionless lie the fluttering wing and the heart in the breast. Ah, little Bluette, return to the sod. Motherless bird, lone little bird, thy freed little life has returned unto God. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Five Senses by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Elaine Conway, England. View number 1. I hear the wind a-howling, I hear the thunder rolling, I hear the cats a-growling, I hear a bell a-tolling, I see the weeds a-growing, I see the roads need scraping, I see the grass needs mowing, from work there's no escaping, I smell the bad surrounding of backyard odours pending, I smell decay abounding, oh, it is just heart-rending. My taste, I think, is failing, my food I'm not enjoying, my liver must be ailing, I'm sure it is annoying. I feel the house needs cleaning, I feel the clothes need mending, I feel the storms are nearing, I feel the clouds descending, I feel that I'm longing for the things I am not getting, and my senses are prolonging the misery of regretting. View number 2. I hear the robins singing, I hear the cocks a-crowing, I hear the cowbells ringing, I hear the reapers mowing, I see the buds a-bursting, I see the grass a-growing, I see the bees a-thirsting, the hen a-hovering, I smell sweet scents arising, I smell the flow of spring, I smell the breath of lilies, the earth is flowering, I taste the sap a-flowing, I taste the bees hiving, I taste the green things growing, all nature is reviving, I feel the soft breeze blowing, I feel the sun a-shining, I feel the things a-growing, my senses all entwining. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. 2 Phases of Life by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Elaine Conway, England. Born, eat, sleep, squeal and grow, wrangle, scramble, reap and sow, work and struggle, steal, cheat and lie, grow old, suffer, gasp and die. Born, eat, sleep, laugh and grow, love and labour here below, bless, encourage, cheer and give, age is coming, but we live. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Old-Fashioned Man by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Elaine Conway, England. Abraham Lincoln, the honest man, unheralded by bard or tome, was the son of old-fashioned parents, and born in an old-fashioned home. And then he grew up on the old-fashioned plan, into an old-fashioned boy, and soon he grew into an old-fashioned man, with nary an ounce of alloy. With his old-fashioned hands he worked with a will, and never ashamed was he, for he was the grist in the old-fashioned mill, which turned him out honest and free. In his old-fashioned way he would hammer a nail with a plough, make a fine home run. He would cut down a tree, split it up into rails, in exchange for a suit of homespun. In his old-fashioned way many a yarn he spun, without ever cracking a smile. For this serious man loved a little fun, his weary hours to beguile. He came to be known through the whole countryside by the name of Honest Abe. And an honest store he tried to run, but somehow it never paid. When challenged by bullies he made such a fight, in a good old-fashioned way, they never came back, they were beaten outright, and fled in surprise and dismay. With heart tender and true, yet sturdy and strong, and staunch in his old-fashioned way, he stood for the right but sat down on the wrong, and never was known to delay. In his old-fashioned way he climbed to a place, minus bribery and tricks, and earned a seat in political race in 1846, and later he climbed to the topmost shelf, and ruled as an honest man. He had no craving for power for himself, but sought out the good of our land. In his old-fashioned way he crept into the hearts of his fellow countrymen, from the highest ranks, from the busiest marts, to the lowliest children of men, and will always believe in this old-fashioned man who ne'er a kind act was above, and will do well to follow his old-fashioned plan of faithfulness, duty, and love. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Le Voix by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Elaine Conway, England. Love makes labour worth pursuing, idleness is our undoing. Death is life, but if we but knew it, life is death, as some pursue it. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Noblemen by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Elaine Conway, England. Who are our noble men? He who wears the livery of his clan, who struts and boasts and says, "I am the man"? Is he a nobleman? He whose hands are useless and soft-palmed, nor ever with his brain has formed a plan? Is he a nobleman? He whose ego fancies self of noble birth, and so to be thereby of gentler, nobler worth? Is he a nobleman? Who never seeks to do a noble deed, and who ignores the strenuous calls of human need? Is he a nobleman who wastes his energies in doubtful mirth, and smirks and says, "I am a nobleman by birth"? Is he a nobleman who, relating his debauches, pollutes the air and, per ace, then dares to look a decent human in the face? And is a nobleman a being idle, useless, shameless, sordid, vain? 'Twere better then if in the embryo he remain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Beauty Everywhere by Frances Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Elaine Conway, England. There is beauty in the forest, in the shrub and rolling lea, in the placid flowing river, in the swelling of the sea. There is beauty in the mountain, there is beauty in a hill, in a gushing, sparkling fountain, in a tiny, tinkling rill. There is beauty in the summer, full of live and growing things, balmy days and gentle breezes, filled with gay and fluttering wings. There is beauty in the winter, snowy crystals floating down, petals of the shining frost flowers, jewels fit for kingly crown. Down beneath earth's crusty surface there are hidden jewels rare. 'Neath the waters of the ocean beauteous forms are hiding there. Be it meadow, hill, or mountain, be it river or the sea, be it rill or sparkling fountain, hidden beauties there we see. All around, beneath, above us, 'tis a world most wondrous fair. From the least unto the greatest, there is beauty everywhere. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. When the Corn is in the Milk by Frances Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Elaine Conway, England. Oh, come with me where the sweet corn grows, with its satin stalk in the long straight rows, and each one crowned with a nodding tassel, while its lance-like leaves in the soft breeze rustle. We will pluck the ears from the stalwart stems, for beneath the sheath there are rows of gems. The pearly gems are juicy and sweet, not made to be worn, but for us to eat. We'll remove the husk and each thread of silk, for the kernels are plump and full of milk. When they come to the table, all steaming hot, with plenty of butter, they touch the right spot. Then come with me where the sweet corn grows, and we'll pluck the ears from the shining rows. This luscious fare we may have without wealth, we may eat our fill, and no harm to the health. So give me the ears shorn of husk and of silk, steaming hot on the table when the corn's in the milk. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. 1917 by Frances Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Elaine Conway, England. Goodbye, Old Year. Thou hast given birth to many a smile, and many a tear, to cruel deeds and brave. Hast dug full many a grave, hast builded up and torn asunder, hast set the whole wide world a-wonder. Why didst thou not some pity take, and give this world a mighty shake, that from her sleep she might awake, to see and right her big mistake? Then hadst thou been a proud Old Year, to leave behind such happy cheer, instead of war clouds black and drear. But now we say Goodbye, Old Year, with weary hearts, with tearful eye, we give to thee our last goodbye, and hoping that the New Year brings a peace to all on its white wings. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Working Man by Francis Cook Steen. read.for.org by Elaine Conway, England. Who sows the seed and reaps the grain on hilltop, valley, level plain? The working man who grinds our grain to make our bread, that every nation may be fed. The working man who labours on through sun and shade to tend with care each tender blade. The working man who lives in caverns black as night, that we may have both heat and light. The working man who piles the brick and mortar high, till dome and spire near meet the sky. The working man. The riches of the loom are ours, gained by the toil of weary hours. Of working men, who bears the burden of the day, nor dares to shirk the part they play, are working men. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Mayflower by Francis Cook Steen. read.for.org by Elaine Conway, England. In memory they came, they're gone. All honour be to those who braved the rolling sea, who left behind a princely dower. We'll ne'er forget thee, brave Mayflower. The days are passing, one by one. 300 years have come and gone since our forefathers sought the shore, and braved its dangers, scanty store, to make a home far o'er the sea, and left it here for you and me. Oh, may our land be ever true to Freedom's flag, red, white, and blue. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Good Advertising by Francis Cook Steen. read.for.org by Elaine Conway, England. I am going to start into business, said John to his wife, said he, and I'll treat the people so fairly that they'll all want to trade with me. And then when I get them a-corning, said John to his wife, said he, I'll just keep on in the same fair way so they'll all want to stay with me. I'll do some advertisin', said John to his wife, said he, and I'll practise it over the counter when they come to trade with me. And when I am trading with people, said John to his wife, said he, I'll sometimes give 'em the half-cent, the custom may say it's for me. My measure I never will scrimp, said John to his wife, said he, and if but a trifle I add to the weight, 'tis a good advertisement for me. I'm not going to be so tarnation small, said John to his wife, said he, and if I give a few pennies away, they'll always come back to me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Give the Devil His Due by Francis Cook Steen. read.for.org by Elaine Conway, England. If you're talking to a feller and he don't think just like you, no doubt he has his reasons, so give the devil his due. If you see another feller doing what you should do, don't say he's doing it for show, but give the devil his due. Don't say he's ignorant or lazy if he does things different from you and plods along in his own way, but give the devil his due. Just remember there's no two fellers alike, so they don't all work like you, but they may be doing as good a job, so give the devil his due. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My Creed by Francis Cook Steen. read.for.org by Larry Wilson. The naked to clothe, the hungry to feed, a pitying love for those who have need, a lending a hand to those in distress, a constant desire to cheer and to bless, to answer the prayer uplifted to God by the wretched and lonely, now under the rod of the ignorant mass in its pitiful fight, who are struggling to rise through the darkness of night. God is our Father, not demon nor devil, for what we believe in we live on that level. No murderer is He, nor a pestilent fiend, scattering death and disease among His redeemed. God is love, light, and truth, and doeth no evil. We have risen above the religion primeval. In the distance approaches the flickering light, and its bright rays are flooding the realm of night. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Hope by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Laurie Wilson. Oh, weary traveler, with thy halting step and slow, hope on, live on, and never let the old world know thy heart is breaking for the thing yet unattained. But press thou on, the thing desired may yet be gained. Who knows but it may be but just beyond thy sight, and so by treading on a little further in thy might, thy weary feet may touch the goal at last, and then forget the long and weary past. O blessed hope, thou art a lighthouse on the shore, to guide our tossing bark the rough waves o'er. Thou art the buoy that keeps afloat the sinking craft. Thou art the cords that bind the floating raft. O hope, I only ask that ever by my side thou mayest walk with me and there abide. And may thy presence brightly gleam to guide me o'er the narrowing stream. And now, dear hope, a friend thou art, a friend from whom we would not part. Through life, in death, be ever near, to catch and change the falling tear into a sunbeam bright and clear. O glorious hope, thou art divine. O may thy radiance ever shine on our poor weak humanity, with all our sins and vanity. For if thou vanish, heart beware, there's nothing left us but despair. If in the evening thou hast flown, we'll find thee in the morning's dawn. Thrice blessed hope, abide with me as long as I have need of thee. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Grumblers by Francis Cook Steen. They grumble and grumble and grumble. They grumble the livelong day, and still far into the evening they are still a grumbling away. And when they get up in the morning, there's nothing quite right, it seems, and so you often wonder if they grumble all night in their dreams. Oh, it makes you awful tired, and it drags you down like a stone, till you wish that every grumbler had a grumbler's den of his own. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Seasons by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. Spring. When from Mother Earth there springs tender blade and leaf and flower, nourished by the gentle shower, returning birds their matins sing, each busy with its tiny nest, choosing the spot he loves the best. In tree-top, by mountain spring, each tender thought calls forth a trill of wild delight. He picks at will a twig or straw, and mounting flies gaily homeward with his prize. When blossoms show their faces fair, and fling their fragrance on the air, which air waves to our senses bring, and whisper gently, "This is spring." Dainty maid, we hail thy coming, thou dost start the life-blood running. Summer. When spring into the summer glides, and casts her blossom mantle on the earth, a challenge to fair summer's mirth, who sits a queen, whose royal birth defies the fair maid's gentle rule, to introduce a modern school. So fruitage takes the place of flower, and leafage forms a pleasant bower. And in the nest built in the spring, new forms of life are hovering. The trees grown dusty by the road are bending with their lusty load. The squirrels with frisky leaping stride are hunting for the nuts they hide. The blue jay anxious for its young caws its warning to each one. Long, warm, and gracious is each day. The queen proclaims 'tis summer's way. Gracious queen, with joy we greet thee, and may chill nor frost defeat thee, changing what dear spring begun into bread for everyone. Autumn. Born of summer, prince thou art. Truly thou hast done thy part, giving with a princely hand what thy subjects shall command. Lavishly throughout the land, ah, we love thy pleasant ways, bringing to us balmy days. Golden leaf and scarlet runner, wave a last good-bye to summer. Golden pumpkins by the score, heaped within thy open door, and no need to stay the hand when there's plenty in the land. Nuts and apples, corn and wheat, fill the bins so smelly sweet. Rich in blessing, crowned thou art, Prince of seasons, loved thou art. Winter. Old King Winter comes at last, with his snow and chilly blast. Did you say a gruff old fellow, turning all things brown and yellow? Nipping with his frosty breath. What remains of autumn's wealth, now the snowdrift high he piles? How he winks his eye and smiles at cold fingers, toes, and noses. Gaily paints our cheeks with roses, now the merry sleigh bells ring, a welcome to the jolly king. Smiling when the fire beams bright, basking in the rosy light, as we sit before the fire, while the flame leaps higher and higher. It is time when hearts are lightest. To youth this season is the brightest, but subdued at last must be winter's white festivity, and we see him scampering at the first approach of spring. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Morning by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. A pale glow of dawn far over the sea, arising like mist from a fell. The world quietly rests, only save now and then a twittering note from some bird in the dell. The hush of the morning has spread o'er the earth, a peaceful and subtle repose, and the light in the east changes into the delicate pink of a rose. A breeze as light as a zephyr stirs a ripple of life o'er the lea, and the world has awaked from its slumber, and morning has stepped from the sea. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Old Ocean by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. There's a charm about the ocean, with its restless rolling tide, and it clutches at the heartstrings with its wonder deep and wide. There's a grandeur in the ocean, swelling, swelling, yet retaining equilibrium and motion, nature's wonder laws maintaining. There's a mystery in the ocean, in its calm and soothing sound, and inspiring deep devotion in its silences profound. There's a force about the ocean that would spread its waters o'er every city, town, and hamlet built along its sandy shore. Moody, deep, relentless ocean, when thy depths are stirred by weather, tossing on thy turbid bosom precious lives and junk together, never heeding in thy speeding human cry nor human prayer. In thy waters lie destruction, still thou never hast a care. Down beneath thy rippling waters thou dost cover fathoms deep. They who trusted to thy keeping, thou hast rocked them fast asleep. When upon thy restless bosom still we trust thee and adore, and forget thy changeful nature as we sail from shore to shore. Calm and peaceful thou dost lie, rocking in thy bed with a quiet gentle motion, while the sun shines overhead. Yes, we love thy sparkling wavelets, and thy white caps mountain high, and when we're no longer near thee, for thy magic spell we sigh. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Disappointment by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. 'Tisn't what I thought 'twas, what? Why, this old world, I thought 'twas made of flowers and birds and song, sunshine and cozy bowers. I wonder what's gone wrong. I thought 'twas made of music and love and all such things, that all the people needed was a pair of golden wings to make them into angels with a harp of golden strings. Oh, I'm awful disappointed at the horrid things I see, and the awful things that happen that I never thought could be. How people shoot each other and think it's something grand, though the Bible says you mustn't. I do not understand. I'm so sorry for the orphans who go hungry all the time, because their daddies left them to go fighting down the line. I'm so sorry for the cripples. They'll never be the same, but just go staggering along. War is a horrid game. I thought that all good Christians loved each one as himself, and kept the golden rule, and sometimes forgot himself. But then I hear that people change, because they get more wise, and while I am still but a kid, I now think otherwise. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Written for Edith by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. O daughters of this republic, where have your senses flown, to flutter forth in cold and snow, without your sweaters on? You've lain aside warm underwear to look more slim and neat. Your hose are but a cobweb to air your chilly feet. And when you're asked if you're not cold, oh no, indeed, you'll say, and just go on and shiver throughout the coldest day. You wear your heels so high, my dears, you walk upon your toes, and then you wonder how and why you have so many woes. You rustle forth in mud and rain, without your rubbers too, and freeze your little toes because Dame Fashion tells you to. Now come, dear girls, be sensible, defy Dame Fashion's rules, and gather up the castaways and prove yourselves no fools. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sermon from Nature by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. The smell of lilac means more to me than all the sermons of men, and the happy song of the tiniest bird than the songs which flow from the pen. The scent of a rose is sweeter to me than the censer's subtle perfume, more fruitful the bees and the blossoms than the cloister's sorrowful gloom. The beauty that clothes the lily is fairer than priestly gown, and nature's benediction falls silently, gently down. In every leaf and petal, in every flower that blows, in every note of a songbird, in everything that grows, there's a sermon of infinite beauty we may feel and hear and see, and it makes this old world brighter, and is good enough for me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Night by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. When the last glow of daylight has faded from the west, and the last of all the birdies is snugly tucked into its nest, when the horse within its stall is dozing o'er his hay, and every frisky lambkin is resting from his play, when the gentle moo cow has yielded up her store, and from the little piggies there comes a peaceful snore, when the stars are peeping at you through the curtained misty light, and the bats and moths and beetles are the only things in sight, when you hear the crickets chirping, and the screech owl's mournful cry, and the froggies loudly trilling, and the skeeters buzzing nigh, when your head is gently nodding, and your eyes are growing dim, and no longer see the letters in that good old-fashioned hymn, then you know the shades have lowered gently o'er the setting sun, and you know the day has ended, and you know that night has come. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
If I Were a Robin by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org. I never would build my nest in an apple tree, but away up high in an evergreen, where no one could ever see my little gray nest, nor my little eggs blue, nor steal them away from me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Dream by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Far from the place where I was born, far from the trees and the waving corn, the long furrowed rows in the field by the stream, how often I see them again in a dream. I'm hunting for shellbarks shaken down by a breeze, half afraid of dark shadows cast round by the trees. My apron is full, and I happy as when, a barefooted lad, I went hunting with Ben. To eat them I wish, and I look for a stone, to crack the thin shells as in time long ago. I sit myself down on a tree where it fell, but instead of a kernel I found but a shell. Disappointed and hungry I awake from my dream, as often we do in life's waking dream. How we wish for the kernel we never have found, instead of the husks scattered over the ground. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Madame Redbreast by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Sir Robin and Madam went out on a quest to find them a place to build them a nest. As they flew in and out of the branches near by, a comfortable nook caught Madame's bright eye. "Why, this is the nicest place for a nest," said Madam Robin to Sir Robin Redbreast. "See this crooked limb of the old apple tree. I believe it grew that way on purpose for me." So she flitted about this busy wise dame, and went right to work, and grub staked her claim. None ever worked harder to build her a nest than this shy little, spry little Madam Redbreast. She brought the soft grasses to line it inside, then she'd pat and caress it, this tiny spring bride. As she looked into the nest one morning in May, now what do you think on the bottom there lay? Three little blue eggs, as blue as the sky. Then she smiled to herself, and winked her bright eye, and said, "What dear little eggs, oh my!" One day as she hovered the little eggs blue, something moved under her breast, warm and true. Then the warm little heart gave a warm little flutter, and thought little warm words which she could never utter. But the words she would say, I know they were these: "They're the dearest wee birds, for they're mine, if you please." End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Promise by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Oh, give me your hand, little girl, little girl. Oh, give me your heart, little girl. And I will be true to you, and keep them safe, little girl. I gave you my hand Billy boy, Billy boy. I gave you my heart, Billy boy. But my hand you have spurned, and my heart returned, all trampled and crushed, Billy boy. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Gossip by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Oh, how can a gossip be glad, as she relates her budget of woe, and scoffs at the trials of others, whose temptations she never may know. They pour into your mind all their grouches, in which they seem to delight. They make of your mind a dump heap, until you are ready to fight. They'll come in the morning and talk until noon, and rehearse all the gossip they know. They tire you to death, you can't draw a long breath, till they rise and say they must go. They'll talk of their neighbors and friends, as well as their enemies too, and you never can tell when they're gone what they're going to say about you. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. When the Heart is Young by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. When the heart is young, what matter if the hair turns gray, or the eye grows dim as the years pass away? What matter if the form be bent? What matter if the strength be spent? That footsteps lag, or memory fail? What matter that our youth has flown? Our love songs all been sung? Life's joys are not all ended when the heart is young. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Our Fathers by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. There's a song that's been singing itself in my heart, in silence for many a day, and now to be free it knocks at the door, and in silence I open the way. Of mothers the bards have been singing, her praises the poets have penned, far and wide her glory is ringing, and these poets and bards were men. So this my song of the fathers shall be, by one of the mothers of men. A song it shall be of true chivalry, as it flows from the point of my pen. Who toils and toils from sun to sun, in field and shop and mine, who saves and saves the hard-earned sum, for rest has little time, who sweats and sweats in furnace heat, and weary all the day, who tramps and tramps his thankless beat throughout the city's way, who plows the field and sows the grain, by stifling heat is bowed, and trudges patiently along to feed the hungry crowd. Invented mowers, reapers, to assist the working man, machines to sew, and sweepers to relieve my lady's hand, who gathers cotton, wool, and flax, and weaves them into cloth, who first found out that silk could wax from that lowly thing a moth. In music there is power, the muses long have sung. Who makes the instrument from which this music may be wrung? Who caught the lightning in his hand, and held it there for use? Who sends it broadcast o'er our land, and holds against abuse? Who taught the ship to ride the sea? Who made the diving bell? The iron horse, to skim the lee, up hill and down as well? Who levels mountains, digs and dells, to make the valleys meet? Who builds our cities towering high, above a well-paved street? Who fought our country's battles, face to face with deadly foe? Who won by scars and bloodshed, saved our country from her woe? Who gets up in early morning, when the frost is on the pane, and who sets the kettle boiling, though he may be old or lame? Who brings in wood and water, when there comes a frosty snap, while mother sits so cozy and warm by the fire and takes a nap? But I might go on forever, and I could not tell the half of all the good the fathers have done in our behalf. So the song that's been a singing in my heart for many a day, with its homey music ringing, rises now and floats away, spreading out through all the earth world, and with justice meted slow, that belonged to our good fathers, living now and long ago. Side by side in song and story, mother, father, hence shall go, hand in hand with equal glory, ever linked by love or woe. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Chickadee by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. There flew to my kitchen, one morning in spring, a dear little bird, but so swift on the wing. He rushed through the doorway, nor thinking at all, till he came with a thud against the hard wall. Then the light from a window attracted his eye, and swiftly he darted toward the blue sky. But poor little prisoner, not knowing, alas, the sash was 'twixt him and the growing green grass, he fell to the floor with a sickening crash. Alas, little bird, why wast thou so rash? He lay on his back, with his little toes curled, and I thought, there's one little song less in the world. So I lifted him up from the floor where he lay, and he opened his eyes, as much as to say, of all the queer things that e'er happened to me, this beats them all hollow, I'm as weak as can be. Then his scared little eyes went blinkety blink, and his scared little heart went clinkety clink. I opened my hand, he flew into a tree, and looked saucily back, singing Chickadee dee dee. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Since the World Began by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. Ah, little bird, why do you fly at my approach, and seem so shy? Your tiniest feather I would not ruff with a careless hand, you know well enough. When the weather is hot and dries up the dew, I put out a dish of water for you, and when the snow flies and the worm burrows deep, I throw out some crumbs of which you may eat. And now, little bird, why are you so shy? So quickly alarmed and ready to fly? Fly into my hand, and then you shall see how gently I hold you, how careful I'll be. Ah, no, little girl, since the world begun, we have learned to fear the hand of man, who trap us and shoot us, ever hunting with gun, to bag us and stew us, and think it is fun. I said to a squirrel far up in a tree, why scamper away from a girl like me? You remember the nut that I gave you one day, how you snatched it up, then hustled away, and ran up a tree, clear up to the top, and away from me before you would stop. I wanted to stroke you, and pet you and love you, but all my kind words had no power to move you. Don't you know, little girl, man thinks us a pest, and hunts us and kills us and thinks it a jest, and feels it an honor and brags o'er his catch, for cowardly sport man hasn't his match. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Table Set for One by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. In looking back o'er the long, long ago, those dear little forms you recall, how happy each face as he found his place at the table set for all. And the days passed by, till each in his turn passed away from the old home dear, and the empty walls no echo recalls of voices you loved to hear. You long for the forms and the voices, dear, but those forms you cannot recall. They are now of the past, but your memory holds fast when the table was set for all. What do you do with each long weary day, and again when the day is done, and the evening falls o'er the silent walls, where the table is set for one? Just try to be helpful and cheery and bright, for the way may not be long, and scatter some flowers through the fleeting hours while you're plodding the way along. For the world wags on through sorrow and song, just the same for you and for me. We must take what we get, and try not to fret over sorrows which all must see. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. After 40 Years by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. If you ever think the old times will come floating back again, when you visit the old homestead, where for years you haven't been, if you think to find the old friends, all as glad as you will be, take a little trip and try it. For yourself you soon shall see. Make the trip? No, go not near it, for the memories now you keep, sacred of your youth and childhood, will be crushed and make you weep. Faces once you knew and cherished, now are sleeping 'neath the mold, and your long fond hope has perished. No more their hand in yours you hold. Woodlands once you loved and played in, now by the woodman's axe laid low, growing green and field of clover fills the place you used to know. Where are now the stately nut trees in the meadows by the streams? Once you gathered their rich harvest, now they live but in your dreams. The old schoolhouse near the water, the old footlog o'er the span, nothing left to tell the story of the days your youth began. Old log house upon the farm there, given place to modern frame, all is strange, and changed and lonely, nothing now remains the same. Thus vanish your old friends of youth, and live but in your memory now. The place you knew where you were born belongs to others, pay your vow, and let the dead past rest in peace, disturb it with thy presence not. Its charms are dead, for you they cease, then friends forbear the sacred spot. It is a grave wherein you'll find thy dearest youthful memories rest. But dig them up, and they become as fleeting as a bit of dust. Then go no more your childhood ways, for you are now a child no more. Friends may forget of other days, nor love the same they did of yore. Your memory holds a childish love, forever hold that memory dear. Your soul will see as it saw then, debalk it not, 'twill fly in fear. Just go thy way, and thinking not, old age will flee and be forgot. When you behold the much loved spot, what others feel shall be your lot. But hold thy precious memories well, in them your youth shall you renew, and be content with them to dwell, for memory friends are ever true. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. What's the Use? By Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. I'll not complain, for what's the use? If life with me has played the deuce, and shattered all the golden dreams I dreamed so proudly in my teens. This world a palace was to me, and every room I longed to see, and every door stood open wide to give me choice, and there abide. If in my youth and haste I chose to enter in, the door to close, no more to open unto me, no more forever to be free. I'd like to ask a question plain, is any one but me to blame? If in my indolence I chose indulgence in a soft repose, and slumber came and blotted out the duties I should been about. Now who's to blame for this abuse? I'll not complain, for what's the use? If in my eagerness for pleasure I looted every hidden treasure, till life my jailer, prisoner I, my clipped wing useless, so I lie. If life with me has played the deuce, I'll not complain, for what's the use? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Noon by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. The King of Day has risen, and donned his garments of gold, and rides to his throne at the zenith, 'neath his blue-domed place to hold his kingly watch o'er the birds and the bees, and the opening buds and flowers, and to shower his richest treasure on this wonderful world of ours. He sits a monarch staunch and true, and hands out his hoarded gold, for his treasure is free to every one, and can neither be bought nor sold. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Caste by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Said Mrs. A to Mrs. B, I live in Top-Notch Row. I'd like to have you call on me. I've just arrived, you know. I'm sure I will, said Mrs. B, without demur or dally. And then I hope you'll call on me. I live at 10 Dutch Alley. But Mrs. A looked down her nose, so very shocked was she. Then, oh, she said, and thought within, plebeian, ah, I see. Said Mrs. A to Mrs. C, I'd like to entertain, but I am in a quandary. Just wait and I'll explain. You know I live in Top-Notch Row, and just arrived you see, so give me all the names of those who have a pedigree. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Mother Dreams by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. There's Jimmy, a lawyer I'll make of my Jim, for he is so bright and possesses the vim for getting ahead, and stands first in his class. Then finally he, elected will be to Congress before very many years pass. There's Joseph, a doctor I'll make of my Joe. He's sturdy and strong and has the right go, and gumption enough to choose the right school. He's steady and slow, but will get there I know, and dispose of bacilli and the animal cull. There's Danny, a musician I'll make of my Dan, and his name shall ring out through every land. On his Christmas drum he makes the sticks fly, keeps just the right time when humming a rhyme. He will be a composer, I know, by and by. There's Billy, a teacher I'll make of my Bill. His pupils he'll manage with caution and skill. His mind how it grows! He can count all his toes, and he'll be a professor before he is through. Reality. Now Jimmy the lawyer is a trusted chauffeur, and Joseph the doctor is clerk in a store, and Danny musician sells oats, corn, and hay, and Billy the teacher works out by the day. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Day by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. 'Tis the very brightest day that nature on us could bestow. Breezes are gently blowing, soft and low. The grasses are springing upward, the buds are bursting with life, and earth is beginning to brighten with nature's strife. The birds are returning homeward, from their winter's retreat they stray. They twitter and sing and are happy all the day. Then why should a mortal be sad, while earth is so cheerful and gay, with music and flowers and sunshine? Oh, sadness away! For 'tis only a cloud that is passing o'er the sun of my life. Away! I will not foster such phantoms on this beautiful day. But the shadows are growing longer, the day is beginning to wane. 'Twill soon be gone with its brightness and song. A wish for return is vain. So while earth is rejoicing and nature is glad, we will chase the dark shadows away, and the cloud that hangs o'er us will scatter as the hours of this golden day. Footnote: A day. My first effort at writing was written in 1887. End footnote. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Why Not? By Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. If each would attend to his own affairs, and let other people attend to theirs, it would lift the burden of half our cares, and how happy we would be. If, when others are down, we would show some sand, and reach right down and lend them a hand, and pull them up to a firmer stand, how happy they would be. If we'd try to be cheerful and sunny and glad, instead of sulky and pouty and mad, some hearts would be light that now are sad, and how happy all would be. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Letter to a Friend by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Dear friend, I thought I would drop you a line, and it is my wish that you get it in time, before you set sail on the ocean wide, and I tell you I wish I was there by your side. But as that cannot be in the flesh for me, my spirit shall fly to you there by the sea. For the spirit's not hampered by flesh and blood, and cares not a rap for distance nor flood. It shall carry my love far over the sea, into every land where'er you may be. It shall carry a thought o'er the ocean blue, a message from one you know to be true. It shall follow you ever from shore to shore, until the days of your travel are o'er. And when you return to the Liverpool ship, I'll be with you still on your homeward trip. And when at last in New York you land, I'll be right there to shake your hand, and welcome you home from foreign parts, home to the land of loving hearts. And now please don't think of me as a ghost, a dodging your footsteps from pillar to post, for it's only the spirit of love that I send to cheer and amuse my dear absent friend. Bon voyage to you, may the good God above return you safe home to the friends that you love. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Laid on the Shelf by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Just an old woman and laid on the shelf, tired of the world and tired of myself. The young and the thoughtless pass by in their glee, with never a glance for old folks like me. Once I was young and joyous and glad, now I am old and helpless and sad. The crush of life's duties are over at last, and the days that remain are passing so fast. The struggles are buried deep under the past. The sorrows that once my life overcast have mellowed and leveled a tortured career, and left but a shadow of memories clear. The life of the past is lost in the new. All things pass away, is a saying quite true. No blame do I find in the natural trend. 'Tis the way of the world in the time of the end. If we only would pause every once in a while, the age to cheer with a word or a smile, for you've got to travel the same way yourself, and at some time or another be laid on the shelf. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Wrinkles by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Why, there's another wrinkle, honey. What's ya been doin' to yaself? 'Twant there yisterday, honey. 'Tmost knocks out ma breff to see 'em comin' on so fast. Why, I declare it spoils ya face. Feels though I want to sass somebody, but den I won't, 'cause I lubs yo' chile not so fast. Let me do de talkin' fuss. I want to tell yo' what come to pass. Don't git yo' face in such a muss. If yo' 'low dem creases in yo' face to keep on comin' lak dey is, 'twill make yo' marster want to fin' anudder place. Sure, honey, don't git mad, I 'low. I oan't talk to yo' lak dis but den. Ol' mammy lubs yo', honey, so listen, while yo' mammy tell yo' somethin', jes as sure as gospel preachin'. Ef yo' keep a wrinklin' up yo' forehead ebry time a thing goes wrong, why you'll soon be lookin' horrid, and it don't take so berry long. Turn de corners ob your mouth up, 'stid ob turnin' ob dem down, and den you'll feel de mock lak smilin', and dat cl'ar away de frown. Make yo' eyes all bright and cheery, let de love come poppin' out. Den young marser won't feel skeery, no' de child'n squelch de shout, 'cause things come what make 'em sorrow. Mammy knows dis am 'nuff, but den 'twill be all right tomorrow, and love'll smooth de places rough. So honey practice smilin', 'cause dey's heap easier den frowns. When you learn jes how to use 'em, dey is lak a shinin' crown. All des things what keeps ya frettin', ef you 'low dem room inside. Dere I see you's laughin', honey, and ol' mammy's mighty glad. Is yo' home a mansion, honey, or a cabin rude an' small? Jes you keep a smilin', honey, an' you'll float above 'em all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Old Age by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. The signs of age are creeping, creeping, all silently their vigils keeping. The frost of time hath touched the hair, once golden brown and wondrous fair, and left its trace upon the brow, once smooth and rare, but wrinkled now. The cheek once dimpled, round and red, its rosy tint long since has fled, and wrinkles now the dimples seem, the eye has lost its youthful gleam. But underneath the withered breast a heart beats warm for what is best. Nor time can wither heart of love, for 'tis a part of God above. Age cannot touch the hidden gold, a heart of love can ne'er grow old. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Hobo by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, B.C. Oh, a hobo's life is the life for me, for I'm at home wherever I may be, for any old place will do for my bed, 'bout pillows and sheets I don't bother my head, and when I turn in I sleep like a kid, who by his kind mother is tucked in his crib. Whenever I travel I have a free pass, on the main travelled road, or through the green grass. My meals are always prepared in advance, and are always ready though I come by chance. In the shade of a tree my table is spread, while the soft breezes rustle the leaves overhead. No fear need I have of thieves sly or bold, my pockets are empty of silver or gold. The style of my clothes may call the attention, but as I'm no dude they're unworthy of mention. My lamps are the stars, the sun and the moon, and they tell when 'tis morning or evening or noon. I may lie in the morning and take my ease, for I never get up until I please. There's no one to claim me, nor hinder nor hold me, there's no one to boss me, nor blame me, nor scold me. I don't have to save and scrimp like a miser, in this thing I think I'm a little the wiser. I haven't a care on this old green earth, I care not for wealth, not a cent am I worth. I pick up my friends as I go along, and by them entertained by frolic and song, for the squirrels and birds and bees buzzing past are always the same, and the friends I love best. So a hobo's life is the life for me, the life that I love, 'tis so happy and free, to come and go and sleep where I may. Watch the sun going down at the end of the day, then cuddle me down in my sylvan bed, with the stars and the blue sky overhead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The River by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. Flow gently on, O river, deep and wide, with thy never-ceasing, quiver-ebbing tide, softly swaying, never staying, in thy sweeping onward stride. Past they banks in noiseless motion, onward to the mighty ocean, ever creeping, never sleeping, onward still, without commotion. Ever onward thou dost glide, and beneath thy waters hide, undertowing, backward flowing, living beauties there abide. O'er thy silvery surface gliding, misty forms are gaily riding, breezes stirring, white wings whirring, to thy bosom e'er confiding. When the golden rays of sunset gilds and brightens every wavelet, and enfolds thee, nothing holds thee, till old ocean thou hast met. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Love by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. Love, take not my heart away, but leave it whole, I pray. For if thou take it, thou mayst break it. So, love, please go thy way. Ah, hast thou come to stay? I tell thee, nay, thou must not here abide, close to my side. I tell thee, love, away. And dost thou linger still against my will, too blind to see my scorn for thee? Why cling'st to me still? Poor love, I almost pity thee, for thy rare constancy. But love brings sorrow, wait till tomorrow, and then mayhap I'll think of thee. Thou'rt overbold and must be chid for seeking out my heart unbid. I would delay another day, thou'lt not my plea forbid. Dear love, and wilt thou not away? Then come and hold thy sway within my heart. We will not part till life has ebbed away. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Blackbird Convention by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. This morning bright and early I heard a great carouse. Why, I thought it was the suffragists a-picketing the House. They set up such a screeching it kept me wide awake. Without a single interlude, my goodness gracious sake. They perched high in the tree-top, and they numbered many a score, and screamed until you'd think their throats were getting sore. I tried to close my eyes in sleep to take my morning nap, but they just chattered on, and didn't care a rap. So as I lay and listened, I dozed off in a dream. Or was it just a vision of this merry blackbird team? I saw them in convention, a-trying to find out a safe air navigation and the swiftest southern route. Way up among the branches they flitted in and out, and now and then the chairman would give a lusty shout, just like a call to order, but nary a one gave heed, but just kept on a-talking with an ever-increasing speed. Again they met at eventide to finish their debate, and talked the matter over till it was growing late. Then quiet settled round about, their joy had seemed to cease, and happily I went to bed to slumber there in peace. But in the night a murmuring sound falls on my drowsy ear. The little birds are sleeping too, just like myself, 'tis clear. Some insect call or bending bough disturbs their light repose, and then a murmur of complaint from out their camp arose. But soon with head tucked under wing to sleep till sunlight beams, they settle down their fluttering wings to happy pleasant dreams. But now they're gone, they all are gone, and them no more we'll see, until their next convention they meet up in the tree. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Style by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Maria de Fátima da Silva. Style. Dear friend, there's something I don't understand. That's why I am writing to you. I'm tired of the way that the fashion is forever changing, aren't you? We consign our old chairs to the attic. We give our old china away. We cannot eat at a table unless it is made in the new-fangled way. The carpet once cheerful with roses, with mosses and leaves intertwined, is hiked out of sight for a pittance, because 'tis bizarre and refined. And so with our curtains, our dresses, they soon grow old-fashioned and queer, though the fabric of one is as good as when bought, and the mirrors are still bright and clear. And even our houses are changing in style, and it keeps one all in a rustle, for to keep at the heels of Dame Fashion, we've just got to get on a hustle. And then when we've built our new houses, and put in the latest fads, and sit down to rest from our labours, we glance o'er the fashion ads. And lo, to our consternation, we find to our utter shame, antiques are the very latest, we must do it all over again. So we hunt through the junk heaps and attics, for moth-eaten draperies and rugs, for remodelled fakes made by fakers, for curios and ceramic jugs. We pay the highest of prices for things that are worn out and old, and then as we look them over, find out we're the ones who are sold. To be at the tip of the fashion, you must rush at the top of your speed, for if you but stop for a moment, you are very old-fashioned indeed. Now I want to ask you a question. What's the use of such changing about, from the new to the old, then the old to the new? If I keep on like this, I'll soon be worn out. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
If by Francis Cook Steen, read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. If I had $1 million with no one else to share, I'd put it in a bank and then I'd be a millionaire. If I had 1,000 acres of cultivated land, I'd be the richest man in town, and wouldn't that be grand? If I had an automobile, all silk and satin lined, and a chauffeur dressed in uniform, now wouldn't that be fine? If I could slip along all day, without a thing to do, now wouldn't I be happy? Well, I'd be a nothing too. If character is built this way, a slipshod thing 'twould be. I'd rather be a tadpole than a frog I'd get to be. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Cheerful Thoughts by Francis Cook Steen, read for LibriVox.org by Scott McMullen. The snow is lying on the ground. The saw emits a cheerful sound. The woodpile rises higher and higher and spells these words, a rousing fire. The sun is playing hide and seek. The birds and blossoms are asleep. The little birds have flown away. No more the frisky squirrels play. But very soon the snow will melt. The sun has thawed the chilling hour, and now goes flirting with a flower. The little buds are wide awake. The little birds their silence break. The frisky squirrels from tree to tree now leap from bough to bough in glee. Life has returned to hill and dell, and all is well again, all's well. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The City Church by Francis Cook Steen, read for LibriVox.org by Josh Kibbe, on January 16th, 2019, in Burien, Washington. I have settled a point, after much research, that the loneliest place is a city church. It is reared in grandeur of marble and stone, finest wood for the finish with towering dome, with rare curving arches, carved filigree work, in niches and corners rich images lurk. The richest of colors in fresco, a maze, memorial windows like jewels ablaze. The organ peals forth in heavenly sound, and fills the great structure, its arches resound. And modern electrics make brilliant the place, but here never shines the sun's happy face. And if you're a stranger, you're shown to a pew, but seldom a hand is extended to you. To tell you you're welcome and to come back again, no smiling word greet you, no one cares a grain. And in manner they say, as plain as can be, you are only a stranger and nothing to me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Dying of a Day by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Sarah Brown. February 21st, 2019, Essex Junction, Vermont. The quiet hush of evening is settling all around. The dimming light now lengthens, shadows cast along the ground. Now the shadows softly mingle in their silent play. Motionless and dim and dusky, 'tis the dying of a day. Now the brightness gently lessens, now the sun sinks into rest. Now there's but a blended brightness in the faded golden west. Little songbirds hush their gleeing, little flowerets close their eyes. Now the dew is softly falling, now the earth in slumber lies. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My Dream by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Josh Kibbe on January 15th, 2019 in Burien, Washington. I had the strangest dream last night. It seemed so real and true, and that is just the reason I'm telling it to you. As I went walking down the street, I saw old Davy Hawk, a-settin' by the grocery store, a-spittin' on the walk. And as I tried to step across the ever-widenin' stream, he just sot there and spit away while I stood there and dreamed. So, gatherin' up my skirts and frills, I tried to leap the flood. My foot slipped on the other shore, and down I came, ker-thud. I picked me up all drabbled with Davy Hawk's juice, and walked on uncomplainin' in my dream, for what's the use? So he sot there chewin' with a calm and ruffled brow, and the accommodatin' sidewalk caught and held the overflow. Then I fled in consternation, never stoppin' for to talk, and I slipped and slid and stumbled o'er the slimy, sluicy walk. And I glared back o'er my shoulder at the overflowin' hawk, still a-sittin' by the grocery, still a-spittin' on the walk. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Today and Tomorrow by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Josh Kibbe on January 11th, 2019 in Burien, Washington. Today we have met with a wrong, so it seems to this heart of ours. We have said our goodbye, and we wonder why, as we cover the bier with flowers, that the world goes jogging on. We listen today for a song from a voice we shall hear nevermore, and we long for a face in the vacant place, a face we shall see nevermore, yet the world goes jogging on. And thus we are passing along o'er the way to the by and by, and our hopes they fade like the blossoms laid on the bier that has just passed by. Still the world goes jogging on. But tomorrow may cover the wrong, and a smile may take the place of a sigh, and we shoulder our load and continue our road, nor wonder the reason why, that the world goes jogging on. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Evening Shadows by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Sarah Brown. February 21st, 2019, Essex Junction, Vermont. I see a tree with its branches high, all tangled up in the pallid sky. The stars are twinkling in between, and the moon looks down through a misty screen, with here and there a cloud drift piled, and the soft air stirred by breezes mild. The nighthawk swoops with rasping sound from his airy flight as he nears the ground. The little night owl 'mong the branches high now begins to hoot his mournful cry, and like an echo from far away comes an answering call, 'tis the closing of day. Through the shadows creep the scent of the wold, in the west still lingers a glimmer of gold. And now the gray shadows are settling around, and greet the calm night with silence profound. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
War by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org. Boys enlisting, draft resisting, mothers quaking, hearts are breaking, guns are flashing, swords are slashing, shells are falling, death appalling. Wounds are bleeding, Red Cross speeding, airplanes flying, brave boys dying, cannon roaring, prices soaring, fortunes carving, children starving. Oh, the din! War is sin. Dripping trenches, ghastly stenches, flowing tears fill the years. Fields laid bare, and dire despair, life laid waste. Oh, make haste and end the spell, for war is, well, I'll let you tell. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My Ship by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. I build me a ship while life is new, and start it out o'er the ocean blue. How proud am I of this ship of mine, for love and duty its cargo combine. With ambition the ballast, to steady the way, and hope as the anchor that brightens each day. A cloud in the west, far over the blue, obscuring the sunshine and darkening the view. I lower the anchor, that the cargo may be safely kept from all harm, sailing o'er the dark sea. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Calendar by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Tear off a leaf from the calendar, a month by the measure of time. Just half of the year is gone, it is clear. Now what have you done with yours, my dear? And what have I done with mine? Have we tilled the soil and planted the seeds? Have we nurtured the plants and pulled out the weeds? Have we carefully planned for the harvest in store? And shall we reap better than ever before? Have we striven in vain to accomplish our aim? Has our toil gone for naught, the result without gain? There's another half year, let us hope for the best. Hope perishes only when death brings us rest. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Tides by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. The tide is in. The slanting rays of setting sun Obliquely fall and tint Each wave with golden light, Then turns to rose and gray, Then settles into night. The tide recedes. The wavy lines along the shore, The tiny shells among the sand, The rifted seaweed stranded there, The rocks smoothed by the sea's own hand. These are the marks the tide has left. It brings sometimes a meager store, But what it holds it brings along, And leaves upon the sandy shore. Life's tide rolls in, and through the hurrying years Gathers whate'er it can and piles it on the shore of time, A heap of sunshine, joy, or maybe tears, Blended echoes of life's varied chime. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. I Wonder Why by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. This world's in such an awful muss. I wonder why. What is the use of such a fuss? I wonder why. There's war on land and sea, in sky. I wonder why. Come, let us kill, the battle cry. I wonder why. The poor go hungry every day. I wonder why. Is it because they cannot pay? I wonder why. Why are we in this awful fix? I wonder why. I wonder if it's politics. I wonder why. There's lust for power in every land. I wonder why. There's want and woe on every hand. I wonder why. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Dawn, Day, Evening, Night by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Dawn. Gray-robed messenger of dawn, linger yet a little longer. Stay thy cool hand on my brow, thy healing touch I welcome now. I would grow a little stronger for the burden of the day. Gray-robed messenger, delay. Day. Gold-clad messenger of day, thou art here, we hail thy coming. Dawn has fled, and day springs lightly into being, shining brightly. Splendid day of early morning, singing bird and insect hum. We are glad that thou art come. Evening. Rosy messenger of eve, by thy side we love to linger, and because we love thee much, we would feel the soothing touch of thy gentle, restful finger. Now thy last bright ray we see, so must bid good bye to thee. Night. Black-robed messenger of rest, thou hast healing in thy wing. Gently fold it round about us, silence every jar to rout us. From the slumber thou dost bring, rest we then till morning dawns, opens day, and thou art gone. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. It Can Be Done by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. A reply to J. Sig's frugality. If summer could be canned like grapes, and stored for winter use, suppose some one should break the jar, and spill out all the juice. Suppose the winsome sunshine should leak out through a crack, and lose itself in darkness, and never could come back. Now here's a fine old recipe, that never fails you'll find, to furnish flowers and sunshine, if you'll store them in your mind. But you'll have to can them early, long before youth's joys are gone. Then you'll always have them handy, when old age comes creeping on. Store the shining days of summer, and your clouds shall all be lined with a bit of glorious sunshine to rejuvenate your mind. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Ideal by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. I know a place where the trailing vine around the oak and ivy twine, and where the grass is fresh and green, splashed with flowers in between, and where the shadows softly lie, tempting every passer-by, where the cool and gentle breeze rustles 'mong the glossy leaves of the low and branching trees. There you hear the drowsy hum of the bees returning home, laden with a bit of sweet for the comb they build so neat, where the purling brooklet flows past the fern that stately grows o'er the pebbles down below, shining iridescent glow. Music where the mimic fall, sparkling where the sunbeams fall. Butterflies are flitting round through the air or near the ground, and the mosses fresh and green, carpet fit for any queen. 'Tis a place where one may rest, by the scented air caressed, lulled content with nature's wild, and the cheerful sounds so mild. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Consolation by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Oh, do not despair, my sister, though from life you have gathered its toll, though deserted and weeping and lonely, you have drained the last dregs from the bowl. Who knows but thy sorrow may brighten the morrow, and thy tears wash the stain from thy soul. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Get Busy by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. If you have a task to learn, get busy. If there's favors to return, get busy. If there's anyone in need, get busy. Prove yourself a friend indeed, get busy. If there's sorrow anywhere, get busy. Soothe the heart with loving care, get busy. If there's grief you have to bear, get busy. For life's burdens all must share, just keep busy. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Remember to forget. by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Forget the ill, remember but the good. Forget the ill? Ah, if but we would! Forget the frown or harsh word spoken. Forget the promises forgot or broken. Ah, if but we would! Forget the look of scorn, the look of hate. Remember but the good before it is too late. Forget revengeful thought, 'tis poison to thy soul, destroys thy peace and takes its fearful toll. Ah, if but we would! Forget thy disappointment and brood not o'er the past, although its shadow may across thy life be cast. Forget thy sorrow, for of life it is a part. Forget to grieve and gain a victory o'er thy aching heart. Ah, if but we would! End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Boston by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. O Boston, with thy curious winding ways, and traditions old of the bygone wonder days, now retold. O Boston, with thy pride forever ringing, of ancestry old, is thy heart with love a singing, or grown cold? O Boston, hear thy wonder music ringing, a magnetic glow. Is it peace on earth a bringing, in its ebb and flow? O Boston, awake, forget thy noble birth, for noble only he who shows by character his worth, and true nobility. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. To a Friend on Her Birthday by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. 100 years old. Life is mostly what we make it, for ourselves and others too. Our character we build, I take it, according to our point of view. In the summer there is sunshine, but it mingles with the rain, and it takes them both to harvest sheaves of golden grain. There's the frosty air of winter, when the shining depths of snow covers o'er with softest mantle tiny seeds that they may grow into beauty pure and fragrant, or in ripe and fruitful store, and the tempest and the sunshine brings them all within our door. So we labor, love together, in the sunshine and the rain, and the harvest of our planting shall return to us again. If we sow the seeds of friendship, we shall reap friends by the score, for the love kept warm and loyal fills the measure running o'er. There is sorrow in the gladness of 100 passing years. There is joy in the sadness, mingled smiles and tears. In thy many days of toil, dear friend, of sorrow, smiles, and tears, you have proved a valiant comrade through the passing 100 years. We cannot wish long life to you, who's lived beyond life's span, but we know you'll live forever in our hearts and in God's plan. And may each day grow brighter as you near the border line, and may your heart grow lighter till that glorious harvest time. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Measure by Francis Cook Steen. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. The joy of living is the joy of giving. Let us fill our measure full to the brim. With sympathy, love, our flowers to the living. For when we give of ourselves. And this is the only true standard of giving. If we know how to give, we know how to live. If we're cheery and helpful and loving and kind, and giving the best that is in us, the joy that is born of a generous mind, like bread on the waters, will return again to us. We multiply joy in the act of giving, our budget of love, or the right kind of living. For we're sure to receive the measure we give, and by this measure we always may know what part of ourselves we are giving. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. End of Life Waves by Francis Cook Steen.